Game of Life Training.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Aaron David Spiegel with Game of Life Training. On your drive, F5 live, noon drive. Today, I want to talk about consistency in how important that is in general, as far as taking you toward whatever goal that you're looking for. So, in order to know where you're going, you kind of have to know what you want. So that's the first thing that you have to decide is what do you want? And from there, then you can take action toward that and move toward that and see what's working and then move toward it some more, make adjustments if necessary. And I'll put that up here. Here we go. There we go. So, first you have to decide. How do you decide? Well, you have to kind of decide. You have to go inside and figure it out. What is it that you want? Because the world has told you what to want. Now you have to decide what do you want. And it's okay if you don't know what you want. You can have an idea. You can move towards something, at least in a direction, but you got to have some sort of a vague idea at least. So I will say this, question everything before you decide what it is that you want, because the world has already told you what to want. You've been conditioned since birth to think what you want. So you have to step back now and say, wait a minute, is, what I've been taught, is that what I want? And the thing is, we have terrible teachers growing up. Not to say that they're not smart or that their intentions aren't good, but they've been taught the same crap. So all they do is pass that along to you and me. And then from there, we have to decide, wait a minute, this isn't right. Something's not right here. This can't be the way it is. This isn't all there is to it, right? And then learn. You have to, you have to practice this. You have to remind yourself of this. And then you have to decide, hey, I'm going to, I'm going to always go back to get in better shape, because that's something that most people probably need to do, is get in better shape. The food that we are eating is not nourishing our bodies. It's terrible for us. Sorry about that. No, it's terrible for us. And it's convenient, and it's what we know, and it's what we've grown to essentially be addicted to. I just said, this is an aside, but the tobacco companies were brought into the food industry in the 70s to see if they could alter the food in such a way that it became more of a craving for us. Another way to say, kind of addictive. At least that's what I've seen on the internet. I don't know. It may not be true, but it does seem that there are foods that, especially, and sugar is a huge one, right? Sugar is like a drug, right? It really is. And I don't know if they did that or if that's just the human reaction, but either way, it's something that we know that it's not good for us. It causes inflammation. It's the number one cause of inflammation. So if you're trying to get in better shape, you might decide to cut back your sugar. That might be a decision, or another decision on top of the big picture is I'm getting back in shape. That's the decision. I'm getting in shape for the first time in my life. That's the big decision. Then with that decision, you're going to have ideas of other things that come along with that, and that could be, like I said, just cutting the sugar back. So once you're on that path, but you got to get there first, you got to decide what it is you want, good way to do that is once you've figured it out, write it down and put it somewhere to remind yourself that that's what you want. Because from day to day, you're going to forget. You're going to forget. You'll forget tomorrow. I do this as a practice all the time, and I still forget until I'm reminded because I have written it down. I have read it out loud. I do say what I want. I put it in my mind. It's in my mind. And I still have to remind myself on a daily basis, every day. So that could be your consistency right there. Remind yourself every day. And then what happens over time, that consistency with consistency, you're going to move in that direction toward whatever it is that you want. So again, back to getting in shape or getting in better shape. Um, Start with a 3-day challenge. Start simple. Say, I'm just going to do it today. Today, while I'm inspired, while I'm thinking about this, because with that inspiration comes momentum. If you utilize that, if not, it just drops off and you're going to go right back into doing the same exact stuff that you were doing before yesterday, even this morning. You can change something at any given moment. You have that capability. We as humans have the ability to decide on something new anytime, right now. We can decide that we're no longer going to have that, whatever that situation is in our life, and change that. So, what is it that you want? What do you want? You want to get in better shape. Okay, let's go back with that. And then, so when you decide, what decide means is to cut off any other possibility. That's the decide, to cut off any other possibility. So, you have to practice deciding because you're probably not very good at it. You probably say stuff all the time and you don't mean it. You say it and you don't do it. And that's especially important when you're raising kids, or yeah, especially when you're raising kids. Don't say you're going to send them to their room and then don't send them to their room or let them talk themselves out of it, because that's the worst situation conundrum that you're putting yourself in. Also, you're teaching them that you're not going to do whatever you say you're going to do. And if they whine and complain and bitch and moan, you're going to give in and you'll do it. And that's the same with the world, though. I mean, the world's going to whine and complain and bitch and moan. And if you're not decided on something, you're not going to do it. So you have to practice deciding. You start small. You say, I'm going to drink this much water today. And do it, and give it something that's attainable for you. Do something that's attainable. Make it something like, I'm going to drink one more glass of water today, or I'm going to cut out one pop today. If you drink 5 pops in a day, that's terrible. You shouldn't, you shouldn't do that. If you drink 1 pop in a day, that's probably not really good. Okay. There's nothing really good about a pop. Soda, if you're down Minnesota, if you're somewhere that says soda or Coke, whatever, it's just not good for you. There are better alternatives. So you can, replace. That's another little cheat is when you're stopping something, give yourself something that's more beneficial in its place. Do something else to, to replace that, whatever that might be. So instead of having 5 pops, say I'm going to drink a big old glass of water with, at some point, and do that. And that makes it easier to do it again. The more that you do it, the more your decision making muscle works for you. So you get good at making decisions. But it's a practice, and especially when you first start, and you got to be aware. So you got to be like, okay, now I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And then it makes you think about what you say you're going to do, because if you don't do it, you're lying to yourself. And guess what? Nobody likes that. You want to be able to trust yourself. You want to be able to say, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And you're the most important person for that. But other people too, because you'll develop a reputation. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're not going to have any respect, not from that person or not from the situation, and from your own self. And that's the most important thing. Once you get self-respect, you're on your way. Once you forgive yourself, give yourself a break for being who you are, because you can't be anybody else, and you went through what you went through, and you have been experienced in the situations that have been brought to you, and that's unique all by itself. And so, you're floating along until you actually reflect and look and see, that I have a choice about these things that are happening to me now. Now that I know, now that I have the ability to reflect, look at my thoughts, look at my words, look at my actions, and change those, because each one of those is going to lead you in a certain direction. So it really does start with your words. It's going to start with your decision as to what is it that you want. And then you start saying to yourself, I'm getting in better shape every day. That's your tool. That's your cheat. That's your hack. It's true for anybody. And then when you say, I'm getting in better shape every day, you're going to get some picture in your mind, most likely, of what that looks like to you. Or you'll get an inspiration right now that says, yeah, I'm getting in better shape every day. And then you're like, ooh, I'm going to have chicken for lunch today. I'm going to have a salad, and I'm going to put the dressing on the side. Um, Whatever the case is, you're going to see something or some opportunity that you wouldn't have been privy to without that decision, without that thought. Something is going to come along to support that. That's going to trigger you into um, making that true. Your brain wants to make everything true. So whatever you're telling it, it wants to make it true. It wants to make it, it wants to find that in the world, and it will find that. So if you say people are good, you're going to see and find a bunch of good people. If you really believe that, especially, that's what you're going to see in the world. And you can take my testament on that, because people are good. And everywhere I go, it's so crazy and it's so cool now. But everywhere I go, people either give me a or hi, or something to that effect. Like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to say anything, and people just, you know, are good. They're nice. That's what I get because I think that. Because there was a time where I thought people were, and I still think people are idiots. So I do get that too. But I had completely different views and opinions and beliefs about people. So, I've always loved people, but I also, I've had beliefs that aren't supportive of people being good all the time. And I saw that. And I see it less and less and less and less now. So you got to make a decision, decide what you want, cut off any other possibility. It's like a line in the concrete instead of a line in the sand. This is what I want. I'm getting in better shape. I'm going to lose 5 pounds in the next month. I'm going to start drinking more water now. I'm going to cut out um, whatever, seed oils. I'm going to, just one little piece that can take you on, because you're trying to get a health consciousness in that. You're trying to get the consciousness of being. What does it look like when you're already in that better shape? What does it feel like? What I mean? When taking people through, it's like a quality of life thing. You think about what it's gonna be like to be in better shape, but I mean, fact of the matter is it's easier to walk up the stairs. It's easier to get down onto the toilet and get back up. It's easier to get out of bed. It's easier as you start getting in better shape physically. So all these things are gonna take you there. Your food's gonna make all the difference on how you feel. Your exercise, movement is healing. Movement is everything. Your lymph system, which is what cleans out your whole body, if you're not moving or breathing heavily throughout the day or each day at least, then everything stays there. It's not activated. So you're just sitting in sewage essentially. So you need to breathe, So even if you get here's a good one. It's like this. You want to be breathing like this for about 20 minutes each day just to get everything, keep everything going. It'll change everything just by Excuse me, sorry. Anyway, just moving your breath like that pushes blood through your system, lymph through your system, circulates everything for you. And you need that. So you can do it without even running. But or cardio or whatever it is that you're doing, heavy lifting, anything, movement, you can do it without that just by breathing. But ideally, take a 20-minute walk and just get yourself, that mall walk that they do that if nothing else. Or just if that's too much for you to start, start with a 10-minute walk. Say I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. 5 minutes out, 5 minutes back. If you have a treadmill, cool. If you have access to a treadmill, cool. Ideally, if you do it outside, you can always dress for it. If you get used to doing it, that's a great way to go because then you can do it wherever you are, whenever you are. So, the idea is just to get yourself back to focus, get yourself back to thinking, what do I want? That's always what it comes down to. And then once you decide what you want, take action. With that action comes momentum. So when you're moving from there, think about what can I do the next? What can I do next? Or it's just I'm going to for the next 3 days I'm going to walk every day. Can you say that? No excuses for 3 days. I'm going to walk 10 minutes every day for the next 3 days, or I'm going to do 10 body weight squats every day for the next 3 days. But you got to remind yourself because tomorrow you'll forget. You'll be like, dang, I forgot I was supposed to do, or you might not even remember ever again. You'll be like, oh yeah, I started to do that thing for that one day. So write it real big on your mirror in a dry erase marker. Write it real big on your bathroom mirror. 10 body weight squats, or 10 squats, or drink water, or just something. You have to remind yourself. And that's all this is. This video right here, right now, is just to remind people what you already know. You know these things, but you have to focus on them. Focus it into being. Have you heard that before? Focus it into being. There's a practice to that, and there's a good way to go about it to make it, to secure it, to make it more guaranteed. And that's by thinking about what would it be like if it was already true? What would it be like if you were already in good shape? That will inspire you into action. Those kinds of thoughts and imaginal acts inspire action. So you use your words to direct your imaginal acts to get the feeling of being. And then from there, the circumstances around you will support that. Your motivation will support that. Your actions will support that. You have to first think about it. Think about it. So you have to stop and you have to do this every day. That's why I'm here for your drive live at 5. No jive. Yeah, and I think with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know of any even little successes because I love to hear that stuff. And even if you don't let me know, that's fine too. Keep it to yourself. When you are starting something, I'll say this, keep it to yourself because you're diminishing its power when you tell everybody that you're doing something, especially when you're not sure for yourself. You need to be damn sure before you start telling people. And only tell the people that are going to support you in it because that negativity, that negative feedback, when you tell somebody that you say, I'm getting in better shape, and they're like, okay, yeah, I've seen you get in better shape. I've seen you do that. And then you fall victim to their beliefs about you because you're hearing that stuff. And then that causes you to picture it in your mind or doubt yourself. You don't want to doubt yourself. So until you have the surety, don't tell anybody. Just, tell yourself, I'm going to drink more water today. I'm going to move my body today. And you don't, start where you are. That's the huge deal. Start where you are. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to who you are now and who you would like to be. And what can you do? What one action can you take here right now? Even if it's just to write it down and remind yourself for later. Do that, write down better shape, whatever, to yourself. Put it in your phone, put it in your calendar, put an alarm there. these are all things that you can do to set up for success. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. I appreciate you stopping in, watching. Hopefully this has shed some light on some ideas for you or inspired you to take a little action right here, right now. If somebody that could use the information that we just talked about, then please pass that along to them, tag them, whatever, share, like, subscribe, because the information is not getting out there unless we, help each other. It takes all of us. So that's one little thing that you could do. And I appreciate your feedback. I love hearing people's successes. So if, feel free to leave comments of success. If you need to get a hold of me, my phone number 513-604-5621. You can text me. If you call, leave a message. I don't answer a lot of times if I don't recognize a number. So thanks again, and make it your best day ever.